This is Letters on the Front Porch, written by Bruce Kaler, M.D., narrated by Sterry. Prologue. The homestead was very modest, on 10 scant, almost treeless acres, 15 miles north of town along a bend in the Snake River. There was an island in the river, viewed from the house, created by thousands of years of silt accumulation that actually had a few trees. The water was shallow, but occasionally a little wild. One could walk to the island through the currents except in the spring when the snow runoff was more robust. The Native Americans used to say you could walk across the river on the backs of the salmon and bull trout, they were so plentiful. Although still plentiful for fishing, they were no longer the stepping stones of native lore. The sounds of the river and relative richness of the soil made up for the isolation. Besides nature's quiet beauty, some of the plot was very suitable for raising a subsistence home garden and chickens. Of course, humans had to coexist with deer and bear when times were tough. The winters were long and snowy, cold, quiet beauty that could be isolating, while the summers were an exhibition of nature's symphony. Still, the biggest challenge was the humans living with each other. Henry and Dotty knew each other in the local high school. After graduation, Dotty worked in a local diner, and Henry got on with the railroad. Like many young couples, a baby girl came along early, which was welcome and joyful, but clearly put strains on the family. Henry's job proved to be fruitful, but as his skills improved, his work ethic was recognized by his superiors. The railroads were still expanding. Henry was called upon to be a supervisor of a traveling crew that laid new track as well as repaired and lined existing track lines. When his daughter Lila was about 5, almost 6 years old, Henry and Dotty were experiencing a very tense time in their relationship. The relief came in the form of Henry's work travel, which was demanding and required moving from one site to the next throughout the West. The work took him away from home for longer than he anticipated. At some point, the travel and work seemed easier than returning home and facing the responsibilities that remained there. Little Lila had come to know her father during those early years. The memories of those formative years increased her fondness in his absence. At the age of 6, she wanted to reach out to her father. With her mother's coaching, she was able to write her first letter to her father. Chapter 1. Dear Daddy, Idaho Falls, 1939. Lila sat at the kitchen table, her legs swinging above the floor. The old but sturdy table of wood showed the wear and scars of many years. The round water ring stained a few areas like medallions. Dotty occasionally placed a tablecloth she made.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?